Hoi, it's louisity again, and for this reading vlog, we are going to read My Fate According to the Butterfly by Gail D. Villanueva. Hurrah! So, this is part of my July TBR, so finally the time has come to read this one, and I hope that I'll be able to finish it soon. So, join me in my reading experience of this one. So, I'm more than 100 pages done with My Fate According to the Butterfly by Gail D. Villanueva, and I'd have to say that so far the story is pretty decent. Like, I like the friendship of Pepper and Sab. It does show, like, you know, two different people coming from two different cultures. It's like Pepper grew up in the United States and Sab grew up in the Philippines. And I'm definitely intrigued about, like, the problem or the rift between Nadine and basically her and Sab's father, because like their father doesn't live anymore with them, and Nadine has some ill feelings towards her dad. So I'm definitely intrigued on how, and that's the thing that I'm constantly being curious about. I'm kind of like being on Sab here. So yeah. And so far, however, there are just some things that I have a bit of concern in terms of the narrative. I feel like some of the cultures or like the dilemmas that are happening in the Philippines are kind of like in your face, like being talked about, and they're kind of like randomly inserted in the scenes. For example, like the colorism that's like talked about in one of like the stalls. Also like the 2016 presidential elections, the whole like hierarchical thing, you know, with, you know, Eastern cultures, and also, you know, the whole bribery thing at the MRT. So that's one thing that I'm kind of like, you know, so they're kind of like suddenly inserted at times. So it makes me think like, is this book written for middle grade people? But probably it might make more sense as we go along with the book. So yeah, I'm definitely intrigued, and we hear it a lot from Nadine. I'm definitely curious about how like Sab is dealing with all this. So we kind of like get to see like what it's like for somebody of age 10 or 11 deal with these circumstances. We'll probably find out soon, and then definitely curious about what's going to happen next. How is this like dilemma going to come? So we'll catch folks later. Whoa! So I'm exactly 200 pages done with My Fate According to the Butterfly by Gail D. Villanueva. Now, I want to begin first by telling the good points so far about this book. Now, it's definitely thought-provoking, and personally for me, in terms of whenever I read books, like, you know, if you're going to make me think, you're going to make me react, you're going to unleash emotions out of me, it was able to do that. On the other hand, though, some of the scenes here are kind of a little bit too intense. Like, to me personally, it's fine. You know, I'm going to talk about specifically about that scene about the raid, like the Operation Tokang, and like that scene where, you know, Tito Ed and Sab's mom were like cursing. So maybe it's because I kind of know, well, I guess even some middle graders know about cursing. But I don't know, like for me, like personally for me it's good. Like definitely, like I said, it unleashed emotions, it's keeping me awake, and you know, regardless of like your points or whatever issues that were like being tackled here, for me personally it was effective in terms of like making you think about them. In terms of like how it was dealt with for middle grade, I'm honestly on the fence. I felt like they were kind of too, like I said, too fierce. Like that grade seemed like I wasn't even a kid. I'm not even a kid, and I'm like, I got scared. I'm not sure if like either kids would find it too, probably. And this is just like my take or my observation. Some kids might take it's like, ooh, I'm not gonna be in it for something that's gonna be like a gleeful kid kind of read, or if it's somebody that a kid already knows, it could be like it could hit too hard that it could be triggering. Um, I'm just glad though that after that scene, nothing intense really happened. I was scared that it was gonna go to that direction, but fortunately, it did not. So yeah, but like some of the way that the scenes are, even like in the previous like scenes, are a little bit mature for middle grade. Like probably for teenagers, it could still be like doable. As of course teenagers starting to get to know themselves and starting to build who they are and needs to gradually know what the world is. But for like sixth graders or even seventh graders, like people that are not yet under teenage years that are still, kind of like cherishing about having fun, I'm on the fence, honestly. And that's kind of like the thing that I'm thinking about in terms of whenever I read middle grade books. Is it really like the approach is on a like on a for a middle grader, for a middle grade reader, let alone like a middle grade who wants to get into reading. Probably like definitely that's not a blanket statement. There could be middle graders that can handle it, or can handle with guidance of their guardians or their parents or whoever is going to be like guiding them throughout their lives. And yeah, and so far, like I said, thought provoking. Pepper is adding spice to this story. Her characterization is really genius. I love the conversations. Sab being a young kid, kind of like, although some people may think she might come off mature, but there are sometimes some kids that kind of view it less. I really felt her, about what she discovered about her dad and how she felt and thought about it. So definitely cool. I kind of like peeked on how many pages does this book have, and it says like 233, so I have about 33 pages left. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it tonight. If not, I'll probably finish it tomorrow or the next few days, and then I'll tell you about like my overall thoughts probably in the next clip. So I'll catch folks later. Cool. So I just finished reading My Fate According to the Butterfly by Gail D. Villanueva, and I have thoughts, which is, honestly a good thing, because that's what books should like have towards me. Like if you make me think, that's a great book, that's a great like way to tell a story. And I have mentioned in like the other clips that I'm on the fence whether this is really intended for middle graders, like collectively speaking, if I should say. And also, what else can I say? Yeah, there could be middle graders that could be reading this, but like probably not in a collective sense, if that makes sense. But yeah, and for some reason, I feel that the target audience of this one also has to be more of those people that are like overseas, because to be frankly speaking, this book was able to like depict like at least like a slice of the challenges that like Filipinos face, specifically in Metro Manila, because I can't speak for like the other places in the Philippines, but definitely like in terms of like Metro Manila or Greater Manila area, it was able to convey like the challenges of it. I honestly like hope or wish that like they showed more of like the artistic side or the interest of sab towards arts. What do I mean? Okay. Typically in a story, like I tell you, I'm very open in terms of characters. Like, characterizations really for me is like, there I can see the intent. Like I say, like people like have different characteristics, and people can come from anywhere, any backgrounds, and have like all these different thought processes and actions. Basically, all that stuff. Like if I'm disliking a character, then that's an effective storytelling. However, by the way, this one that I'm about to tell you, it's not really characters per se. It's more of like the narratives. I felt like it could be more like middle grade in a way if they focus on like Sab's love for arts. I hope that every now and then there were like nuance. I mean, there were, but I felt like it could have been like a highlight as well, or more of like that is something that was more shared. I know this is short, so it could be a challenge, but yes, that's kind of like how to make it better, I love to see like probably even like where Sab could be looking into some art supplies, randomly some crayons and like the stores now, whether in Metro Middle or in like the place they're trying to depict actually sells like art supplies, which I kind of think they do, but even if they don't, it's a fiction book anyway, so they can kind of like have like a more kiddie feel, just for me. I do think that the conversations in the end are heartwarming, but not too dramatic, that's good for middle graders. That's a good thing. So the only thing that I'm like I said on the fence is like the more intense ones. I think there were two in their faces, but like towards the end, it was able to kind of like catch up, And that party, I was hoping for a little bit more of the Filipino style party stuff was explored, but it's okay. I mean, it's probably Sab's narrative. That's their family, so yeah. And definitely, I would still be open in reading other books by Gail D. Villanueva, Louisity series, and Sugar and Spite. I'm definitely curious about that. Hopefully that's going to be a little bit more of a sweeter book. This one, by the way, it is not too heavy, but don't expect it to be like, lighthearted or kiddie. So just something to like put across. So yeah, I would give this book a rating. I was contemplating about what rating, I was going to be giving this book. But yeah, I decided to go for 4 out of 5 stars. If you've made it this far, leave a pair of socks emoji. I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also put down links and handles on my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there, support me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.